We are back. Hi. Welcome to the Genuine Ginger podcast. I'm your hostess, Mackenzie Quintana, also known as the Genuine Ginger. Hey, how's it going? We are on part 4, I believe, of Thoughts to Try On from Jody Moore. And I'm excited for today's because boy, do I need these reminders. I actually looked ahead today at the next few thoughts and I was like, oh yeah, this feels very appropriate right now because it's something that I have been, shall we say, struggling a little bit with. It's all around the topic of parenting, so that's great, just great, because I have not been on my A game with parenting lately. I have yelled at my kids a lot, so this is good. So let's just jump right in. It's not my job. This is the first thought. It's not my job to make my kids happy. I have to remind my kids quite often that it's not my job to make sure that they are entertained every minute of the day, or nor is it my job to XYZ. Like, they come and whine to me about stuff and I'm like, well, I actually don't say this to them often, but it's occasionally I do. Like, it's not my job. It's not my job to make sure that you are happy 100% of the time. I've actually never said that to them because that might hurt their feelings, but it isn't. It's not your job to make your kids happy. Someone else's happiness is not your responsibility. Then let's jump right into the next one. My job, this is the next thought. My job is to teach, honor, protect, respect, cherish, and hold the space for my children on their journeys. That feels like a lot. I don't know about you, but that feels like a lot to me right now. Why is that so hard to do sometimes? It is my job to teach, honor, protect, respect, cherish, and hold the space for my children on their journeys. Notice that it doesn't say anywhere that it's my job to make sure that my kids are perfect. It's not my job to make sure that my kids are always kind. Like, oh, why can't my kids just be kind? Because they're human. I need this reminder today. So what does that even look like? It's just I love the ending there, holding space for your children on their journeys. I have to remind myself often that God knew what he was getting into when he made me a parent and when he gave me these kids, right? Like, I have to trust that God knew that I was going to mess up in all the ways that I have already messed up, and that he has a plan to course correct my mistakes on my kids' journey. Like, the ways that I've screwed them up already, he's already got things in place to help, course correct that, to help change, to help fix what I've broken. Not that, I mean, that sounds really drastic. I haven't broken my kids. None of us have broken our kids. But we make mistakes and we're not perfect. And I do tell my kids that often. As a matter of fact, just, let's get real raw here. Just today, one of my children acted towards another one of my children very undesirably, we'll say. And I got upset and I said, "Why did you do that?" Which I know is not the question to ask. I'm working on it. Like I said, I'm not perfect. And he said, "Because I see you do that." And he's right. Like, I knew, like, I saw what he did and I saw myself in doing the same thing to him before. So I knew he was just, copying my actions. He was, what's the word? Using my, following my example, but not in a desirable way. And I did tell him this. I said, I am not perfect. I asked him, do you like it when I act that way towards you? And he said no. And I said, okay, then don't don't take on that example. I'm trying to not do that anymore. I don't like it when I do that. I don't want to do that anymore. So don't continue on that bad habit that I have. I'm trying to stop it. I don't want you to continue it on. I did tell him that. And so that was way off topic. But what I was saying was that, I guess it wasn't off topic, but hi, I'm human. But it was just a good reminder. I have to remind this is where it came from. I have to remind myself often that the mistakes that I make, that my kids take up, that, you know, they pick up on, they're going to have the opportunity in their life to be able to fix those mistakes just like I do. And I have to trust that God has got them on their journeys just like he has on me on mine. And so it's my job to teach, honor, protect, respect, cherish, and hold the space for them on their journey. I get to just kind of be their guide. I get to cradle them cautiously, carefully, maybe help like just guiding them, but I can't force them to be any certain way. I can't, you know, as much as I try, as much as I would love to do that, I cannot. This is good for me right now. I need these reminders. Yeah, I could go on and on. My kids lately, man. Oh, yesterday in church, this is just purely for your enjoyment. Yesterday in church, we got through the first about, I think it was like maybe 20-30 minutes. And my 5-year-old had a little sketchbook and he wanted me to draw something for him. And he had drawn part of it and he wanted me to draw clouds. And he picked up the black crayon to give to me to draw the clouds. And I was like, well, that's silly. Crayons, you know, clouds are white or else they're blue. Whatever, you know, my stubborn mind, I was like, no, they got to be blue. So I picked up the blue crayon, started drawing the clouds, and he, like, you would think that I had punched him in the face. Like, he started crying, and my husband took him out, and that was the last I saw of him. Apparently he just could not be consoled, and so my husband ended up bringing him home, and it was a whole thing. Apparently, I don't know actually the details of it, but yeah, kids, man, kids. If yeah. Anyways, moving on. It's not my job to make them happy. It's my job to teach, honor, protect, respect, cherish, and hold the space for them on their journeys. Something that I've been trying to just remember lately, because I've had these moments where I'm like, what do I even do right now? Like, what do I, like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to handle this situation. And so, like, I'm like, God, what do I do? And the answer that I always get is love them. And I'm like, like, what does loving them look like right now when I'm about to snap their head off? Okay. Like, so I think that's just the biggest thing. It's just loving them where they're at. And that, I think that's kind of that holding space idea, is just accepting them for who they are and recognizing that they're not perfect, not expecting them to be perfect. I feel like we hear a lot, you know, that we hold higher standards for our kids than we do for ourselves. A lot of times we expect them to master behaviors that we still haven't even mastered as adults. And so, yeah, anyways, moving on to the next thought. It's not my kids' job to make me happy. Just like it's not my job to make them happy, it's not their job to make me happy. And as much as it would make me so happy for them to just be kind and get along, apparently that's not their job. Darn it. So it's our job, which leads to the next thought. I can still be happy even if they aren't. It's my job to make me happy. I can still be happy. I can still going back to a couple episodes back, I can still be in a beautiful state. I can still keep myself in a good energy, in a good place. I can still be happy, even when they're trying to tear each other's heads off. Maybe. I actually don't know if that's possible. No, it is. There have been times in my life where I have been able to remain calm when there is complete, like, just utter chaos going on with my kids. So it is possible. It's not easy, but it is possible. But it's not their job. It's not their job to make me happy. It's not their job to be perfect so that I can be calm and content all the day. It's my job to make me happy. And I can still be happy even if they are just being kids. I was gonna say a not very nice name. Actually, I wasn't. I don't know what I was gonna say. But anyways, just being kids, just being human kids. Okay. I think there's two more thoughts that go on with this kind of same topic. The next one is, what my kids need most is an emotionally healthy mom. And I feel like this is where we kind of get into like the idea of self-care, right? And I feel like we used to hear a lot like fill your cup, right? And now we want to fill our cup so much that there's overflow, and our kids can fill their cups from our overflow. Actually, I don't know if that's the correct analogy, but you get what I mean. Like, the best thing that you can do for your kids is to take care of yourself. And I know that that's so much easier said than done. But why? Like, are we overcomplicating this? Are we sabotaging ourselves for the sake of motherhood in like being like oh gosh, this could be a whole other tangent. Like, I used to think that like, oh, poor me. I just am at my kids' beck and call all day long. And I thought that that was like noble, right? Like, we wear busyness as a badge of armor, as a badge of honor. Like, we wear our martyrdom and our victimhood as though it's noble. And I'm not trying to like make anyone feel bad here if that's, maybe you're in that category, but like, who really is that serving if you are just feeling like you're a slave to your kids, or you're just feeling like you're just sacrificing yourself all day long for the sake of your kids and your family? That may be helping them in the moment, but in the long run, you're going to end up resenting them. You're going to end up being angry and bitter, and you don't want that example for your kids. You don't want your kids to then think that that's what motherhood looks like, that that's what they need to do, is to sacrifice their needs and their wants for the sake of others. I fully believe that when we as women, when we as mothers are doing what is helping us be our best selves, that is the biggest blessing and the best thing that we can do for our families. And sometimes that looks like telling a kid, I'm not going to help you right now because I need to go have some time by myself, or I'm, going to hire a babysitter so that I can go for a girls' night, or whatever that looks like for you. Doing things for yourself, honoring yourself and your needs and your desires is the best blessing, is the greatest blessing, one of the greatest blessings at least that you can do for your family. The next thought is, let me just look really fast. Yes, I think this is the last one for this kind of topic. My weaknesses are part of my kids' growth and journey. I feel like that kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where like I have to trust that the mistakes that I make, like God's got it worked out to help them course correct, and that's actually going to be to their benefit. That's actually going to be a blessing to them to be able to grow from those mistakes. My weaknesses are part of my kids' growth and journey. How freeing is that thought? Like, can you just feel a weight come off your shoulders? Because I can. Speaking of, I think I have an intruder. I that is just oh, hold on. Okay. It is such a freeing thought. It's such a liberating. It's such a like it's not all up to you. It's not all on you. Um your weaknesses are actually part of your kid's growth. Like I said, Heavenly Father knew. He knows you. He knows me. He knows each one of our kids and he knows exactly what they need. And so, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to start crying right now because he knows that not that I don't believe that he necessarily knew exactly what mistakes I was going to make and knew that my child needed those mistakes for his, to be who he was meant to be, but he still knows me and he knows my weaknesses, and it's okay that I am not perfect. It's okay that I've made mistakes because those mistakes, Heavenly Father is going to take them and turn them into something beautiful for my child. And that is so comforting to me. And it's such a relief to me because sometimes I feel like I am a big, fat, huge failure when it comes to being a mom. And so I'm going to end here with just, I guess, a little bit of my testimony that I do believe that. I do believe that God has each one of us and that he can take any mistake that anyone makes and turn it into something beautiful. Jesus died for us so that we could be imperfect and still be okay. Still have the option to be able to turn around and try again. And I believe that. And I am so grateful for that knowledge and that testimony and that faith. And for him, for Jesus, and for my Heavenly Father and my Heavenly Mother. And that's where we're going to end today. So thanks for listening. Please share this if it was something that you needed to hear today. And thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time.